I've been used to one region doing one weird set of things. I'm coming into NA and I'm ready to see other weird things. Like, nobody picks Witch Doctor in CN, all right? And then we're coming into NA and Witch Doctor is being picked up all the time. And I'm ashamed to say it too, but the only reason I kept on seeing Witch Doctor picks up as much as humanly possible was ever since Arkosh ended up running a Witch Doctor just for a joke. And then after one game of an actually successful Witch Doctor game, Witch Doctor is like in the pool.
It just picks up speed. I mean, the hero just does feel nice, though. I don't know. If I was a 5 player, I would definitely want to play Witch Doctor as much as possible. Maledict's just such a satisfying spell as well. But it also makes a lot of the offlane heroes really miserable, especially some of the beefier boys, and it really dissuades the Tide pick, which I think a lot of teams have been reaching for in this tournament specifically. Like teams are just running Tide, and Witch Doctor's that one hero that you never really want to see as the 5 when you're offlaning as Tide in PL.
Yeah, I like this pickup against the Egoboys draft right off the get-go. The best answer they already have is just the Mirana. The Mars is banned out, which is one of the better lane counters against PL very early. And Weaver can't really do anything about it. Enchantress, what are you going to do? You're going to steal a PL illusion. That's going to do nothing for you. And Morphling, his best option is turning into PL or just doing a waveform through. But you need enough damage as well as the talent, which applies a right click when you waveform through something. So there's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
really any good answers for this. And then on top of that, since they still have open bans for the side of Undying, like they'll ban out 2 of the best counters for this PL, one of which being the Underlord, which is very tormenting in lane. It's one of the other best heroes against this PL safe lane. Because, I mean, you're not running PL anywhere else.
yeah, precisely. And it's such a niche hero pick that they must think that they can stall out the game enough, because the one bad thing about the hero is he still just needs a lot of time. He doesn't build Battle Fury. He's not your Ursa. You know, you're not going to stick him in a lane. Even if he doesn't do that well, he can always hit Ancients. It's a niche pickup. It's a hero that not a lot of teams are running right now, but I definitely like it in this game. Like you said, the supports don't have anything on him right now. Egoboys really need to find a really good hero in the off lane to find that matchup versus him. And I'm not really quite sure what that hero is so far, because I'm guessing Tide's going to get banned out right here unless they want to pick it for themselves, or Sand King.
That's another good answer. It's another one of the ones that kind of just torments PL in the lane. I do see them then taking the Tidehunter themselves, because then they can run Phoenix 4. Oh, they banned
And
Tide
there's the
from
ban, yeah.
Egoboys, so they read it perfectly as soon as they saw the Sand King ban. I say perfectly, though. They full-fledged picked into this axe, actually. This is a great catch for them, too, because if they ever get the Weaver, there's no sort of save that exists in this game for Egoboys either. Like, there's no Tusk, there's no Oracle, and you can't draft Oracle against axe anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is actually a really safe pick for Undying here, because it also makes sure that if they end up picking a third safe laning hero that could, I mean, then they're forcing them to pick a third safe lane hero and forcing Weaver or Morphling to rotate either to a mid or an off lane position.
Well, and I'm trying to figure out which hero Egoboys take now, because they banned out everything we were talking about, and Undying absolutely make the correct call. I mean, Axe is one of, again, a very niche pick, but plays so well versus Morphling and Weaver. And you're completely right, Mirana and Enchantress, they don't offer that save. There's no Shadow Demon disruption. There's no hero to get you out of those situations. And I'm trying to come up with a hero that'll allow this Weaver and Morphling to kind of escape, because if they're caught dead to rights, then they will be going down in these team fights, and then the team fight gets really, really difficult, because Ench and Mirana don't provide really all that much in the terms of team fight. So team fights are going to be quite rough if Undying ever get the jump.
OD? Okay, that's what I thought, that they were going to go for. They need something for clear. I was thinking OD because OD had a save, more or less, with imprisonment, but it's not a great save because you can time it very well as soon as you get out of it, and Axe will just call him immediately. So that's why I thought OD might have been one, but it wasn't one at the end of the day. I like the Leshrac pick because it's good against the eventuality of PL running them down, but at the same time, you're going to have a PL with a defusal, and if Tano is caught at any point in time, he's actually just going to get zerged. I hate to say it. Like, he'll just get destroyed by this PL. The Axe can jump on him at any time as well. there's a lot of damage that comes from magic straight from the Lesh, but it's, I don't know. It feels like a 50-50 pick. They need tower push. This was one of their best answers for early tower push, but it doesn't answer Axe, and it only slightly answers the PL.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it, I guess, is the axe call. Once he gets blade mill, you don't really need to worry too much about the damage coming through that. It's a natural Yule's builder. It has an okay matchup versus PL, and it fast forwards the game plan, right? And that's the exact kind of hero you want to draft when you're playing versus PL, because PL needs his defusal, he needs his man, he needs items to do things. And in this game specifically, I mean, Rises is going to have a very free game, I think, because he's laning versus, I mean, Axe Phoenix. He's going to be able to get his Maelstrom quite quickly. He's going to be able to play versus, I think, Tomato in this core-to-core matchup very well. It's really going to be up to Brow, I think, to make space for Tomato in this game.
I think they'll be fine with the space making overall, to be honest. Like, it's like, I know that Lesh is the early that can kind of match up against the PL, like you're saying, but at the same time, like, I feel like this PL lane is going to be uncontested because there's not really much to more or less contest. Like, Axe is going to be able to rotate really early into the game too. Like, you know that this Axe is going to be running around the whole entire map, kind of just doing whatever he wants because there's little to no answers for him.
Well, and that's the problem that I think they really need to address, because at the same time, I'm looking at the heroes, and Moon Meander isn't on that Earth Spirit, that Tusk that we were kind of talking about. So Brow is, I mean, it's a 1v1, unless Brow is able to get some soul kills, which he's definitely capable of. I've definitely seen him pull some tricks out of his hat. It's going to be a really slow, I think, early game, especially in this game.
I was almost going to segue with you saying hat, because everybody has cosmetics on, and I was gonna be like, speaking of hats, but I'm not gonna do that. Not the first series
Tomato's
of
got
the day.
The good hat.
He's got the PL Sundancer hat. That's the I think that's his W that gets the extra effect.
Yes, it is. Very fresh. Very,
he doesn't have the Phantom Lancer one, the physical Lancer, but he does have the rush at least. So he's got two.
30 seconds.
There's a third one, right? I think so. I don't know. I know my cosmetics pretty well. There's a very shiny looking piece.
The cape, the lance, and the hat. That's the
the lance is that is the immortal. No, that's a rare. Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't think so. It does have the extra little bit in it though, so it's fine.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
It's got the combat stance.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that too. I don't know. Hockey player PL is always going to be one of my my favorites, but both teams are being really safe. They just don't want to clash, I think, too early on. They want to keep all their region going into the lanes.
So it's kind of as I predicted for Egoboys. Like, picking up this Leshrac kind of made it a little bit of a 50-50. In the sense, I didn't think the Lesh was actually going to be mid, because you do see that Alone is going to be in the mid, and Lesh is indeed the offlaner hero, which I'm not terribly surprised about, because at one point in time, I remember that offlane Lesh was a real thing. So,
it's definitely a real thing.
It was at the same time when people were still picking aggro offlane Puck. So, like, at one point in time, I just felt it was kind of done. But, I mean, with the resurface of a lot of these very, I don't want to say specific NA-based heroes, there's a lot of flexibility, I think, still in NA for drafting.
Oh, definitely. And we've kind of come full circle where a lot of these teams are just picking heroes that, numbers-wise, have just kind of always been good. I think DP is, like, the best example of that, where it's just, her numbers have always just been solid, So people are finally respecting her again. But these lanes are pretty standard. The only bad thing about this Leshrac pick is you don't really have a combo into arrow in this lane. You kind of need to hope that the Split Earth lands or hope that the arrow lands. You're kind of two setup spells, or two spells that need setup rather. So it's always kind of hard to get that pressure in lane consistently.
I think with that being the case, that there's no real good arrow setup, I don't think that Dismar is even going to have really the ability to rotate into the mid to get first bloods. Actually, hang on, I missed this completely. Well, I'm going to get ready for that first tours going into the chat there, because first blood was claimed by Alone in the mid. or by Bryle on alone in the mid.
Yeah, I watched it. It's just Bryle played it super well. He got the level 3 tick on his Resonant Pulse, and it's level 1 Morph. He was one creep away from becoming level 3. He popped his Fairy Fire before he attribute shifted as well, and there's nothing he can do. So Bryle's got a really good setup for his lane now.
Well, I mean, he is getting beat up a little bit here, but yeah, he'll call out the. Oh, I was gonna say he'll call out the courier. He's likely got a bottle already, so he's got that down, and maybe call. Oh, that came from the last courier pickup. So yeah, he's pretty happy with this overall situation. I mean, even in the CS department, he's 12-5 to 9-3 of Alone, and Alone can't really be making these trades. You don't see him right clicking into Bryle to get rid of the shield either. So it's definitely a hard lane game for Ego overall. Yeah. Like, you can't rotate the Mirana into the mid to really help Alone because, I mean, Bryle's probably played this hero enough that he knows how to sort of dodge the arrows.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about Void Spirit as well. He's the spirit, I think, that gets his runes the most, just because Aether Remnant is just such a useful spell at all times.
Mid. Alone.
Again,
I mean, they're right-click trading. Uphill miss, actually. Bryle might be fine with this one, though. He's just strength trading. He doesn't have he does have a fire. He's good. He salves up, swaps out, and Alone. Careful. I was going to say Bryle might have 6 already, but I can literally see he's level 4, but...
Well, and it's funny, too, because you see Alone, as soon as he gets that level 2 attribute shift, it's like, even though he died in lane, he's just like, I'm just going to hit this guy. I know the strength of my hero, but this mid lane is crazy. They're really playing with fire.
Bot lane, Leshrac getting picked off here by Dubu. I believe that was done by the Maledict. No, it wasn't. He doesn't even have Maledict. Witch Doctor just hitting him with the paralyzing cask. I was looking at top because I saw that top was having a little bit of a tussle too, where you see Kara's in a little bit of trouble getting chased by Moon Meander here, but he starts the TP out. He might be going down still. No, just barely. Kara unable to find the finish off right click there.
Yeah, and in the bot lane, I think they got the large camp pull off, so it was just Tano getting cast between him and a ranged creep, and again, it's like the small power spikes in the levels. It was literally just level 2 Phantom Rush and I think a level 2 cask. Yeah. And they just pushed it and got him.
Well, so far, even with these pickups, though, they're not doing terrible in the CS department overall. I mean, the Weaver is 18-1, so he's not terribly losing his lane. He has yet to die. Alone needs to be careful trading with Bryle here. The man's got a DD, and he jumps up to the high ground. But he does have bottle charges. He wants to trade right clicks with this DD as much as possible. Courier, though, getting clipped in the bot lane. It's just so confusing. I'm looking at Egoboys, and like 40% of their heroes are low HP, so I'm scared of missing a kill because I keep on seeing Alone shifting down to no HP.
To 1 HP.
Bryle.
Oh, Bryle.
I mean, he's got enough mana for another jump if he wants to, but...
When he's got an entire level up on Alone, it's really scary if you're alone in this situation. But even at the top lane's going really well for him. I think they had the camps blocked for like...
Tano in trouble here. They do get a double cast, so Tano's going to be slowed up here by the spear, but not going to find... Lance is not going to slow them down.
And Tomato's kind of running away with this bot lane. He actually has so much farm. They're really having... They just can't pressure him. I don't know. This Leshrac hero is just not feeling too strong right now.
Casket again. God, it goes back to what you were initially saying, that this Witch Doctor... Oh, I think I would have eaten that arrow, to be honest. I would have liked my cannon to... Actually, no. They don't want to push.
They don't want to push.
I mean, it goes back to what you were initially saying. Oh, hang on. Back in mid. Bryle trying to do some trades onto Alone. Alone is shifting down to agility, but Bryle, he's got enough survivability.
Here we go,
they want to fight for the rune. Ooh.
Oh.
Jumping away just in time here. Alone, shifting down. Maybe to try to get some aggressive damage onto him. Trying to get some damage with the shotgun. Of course, though, they only have the shot. They don't have the gun at the moment.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to get more and more annoying for Bryle. But then, of course, as soon as Bryle gets that Axe, the matchup absolutely turns on its head. But taking as many runes away from the Void Spirit is really important, as I think we saw no supports able to rotate for that, for those runes, and something I think we're going to continue to see in this game, just because there's no really ganking potential from the side lanes. Everybody's kind of stuck just laning forever, and I think that heavily favors the teams that are succeeding so far in the laning phase, and that's, at least so far, Undying are pulling away in just about every sense of the word.
Well, sorry, I thought they were setting up for another kill, but
Radiant's top
yeah,
tower
Undying,
is
it's just going back to the original statement that, like, there's no real roaming that you really want to do over... Oh, hang on. Dismar in trouble here. He does get hit with the Maledict, but he's not going to get the follow-up there. Tomato trying to catch him out with the Phantom Rush.
Yeah, he's got the raindrops as well, but it does suck. I think he burns through one of his charges, but Tano's just getting hit. He just gets right-clicked.
The aggressiveness that comes from leaving Dubu in the lane here is absolutely insane. Like, they could just keep Phantom rushing, and then at any point in time, Dubu can punish just by throwing out a coconut. And that's going back to your statement at the start that people weren't really able to rotate for those runes in the mid at the 6-minute mark because it's just... Oh, Dismar. I mean, Dubu is not really afraid of this. You can see he's just, like, unfazed. But back in the mid, you're right. Alone, in trouble. He gets hit by the Remnant, the clip of it. He's expecting TPs here. Dubu is here as well, but unable to get the kill. They have to let that go. Meanwhile, in the top lane, actually, looks like Moonmeander's courier does get clipped. I think it might have been sitting at the at the tower, and they just clicked it because Moonmeander TP'd to the mid in an attempt to get that kill on the morph. They want to get these kills, though, very early. Back up in top lane, though. Team fight going out here. Dubu, he throws out a perfect cast, but Saberlight, very low HP. He's got a lot of negative armor on at the moment. Brile does come in, though. They want to get the kill on Rises, but Rises does end up juking out the Remnant, but I think the burned... No, just enough. Switched to the Strength Treads, and he had a Tango as well, so he was able to survive that battle hunger.
Yeah, he only had one step, I think, coming from the dive on the Morphling, and it's just barely missing the Remnant. He just got a little bit too fancy. That's really unfortunate. At the same time, you lose Tomato in the bot lane because I think, yeah, Leshrac just popped his 6th, and that's the aggressive go. As soon as you hit 6 on Lesh, you just run him down. And Tomato needs to be a little bit careful whenever he's trading with this Lesh now, because now the Lesh has the tool to fight versus him.
The Lesh has the tool. He's got level 6. Press R, kill hero. He wants to make an aggressive push on this Tomato as well, though. He's going to try to stay on the tower to at least split the damage, but Kara is here. He will go ahead and doppel. Will dispel the slow, but Tomato's still just burning away. But Tano with no mana alone comes in. He's standing there waiting for the shotgun. He'll get the shot off, but not able to get the finish off just quite yet. Moonmeander will be falling for this, however, while Axe is going to pick off Tano in the back lines. Arrow whizzes through. They have 3 heroes down here and only 2 available. So I don't think they're going to really want to try to make this aggressive push. But back up in the top lane. No, I thought they were going to make a push onto Rises here as Brile is trying to apply pressure to this tower back in the bot. We are going to see this tower go down. Saberlight not really able to defend it, but he's got no method of escape. Can't really leave, so he might be trying to sack for this deny.
And Alone's such a funny player. He keeps on shifting down. He just knows Morphling so well. He's just so confident on this hero. But you're right, Saberlight's kind of stuck down here.
Yeah, he can't TP. He's got 28 seconds on that. He does have a Quelling Blade, and he will quell that for the time being. He'll hunger up alone for the move speed, but it is actually going to be Enchant that's going to slow him down. And I believe this is a kill on Saberlight. There's no TP rotations that could really happen here. He does juke him out for a little bit, but with that last little clip of vision, the shot goes out. And they will find the kill with the Starstorm. Dismar will find it. So here's the other thing, though. They bought a lot of time, which means they could rotate around in this lane a bit more, but it just feels like with that space that they bought, there's not much happening. They didn't really get too much with that space. They lost the tower. And that's just kind of where it fell. There's nothing else. No TP rotations. No, like, insta-kill. That could really find anything.
There's so many low heroes in this game. It's actually crazy.
I'm so scared. I'm, like, looking at everyone's HP. Tomato is jungling with a total of 100 HP right now. And it's just, like, they're playing it close. But, you know, they know their heroes. They know their limitations. And they'll keep pushing them limitations.
Well, that was the only bright side about bottom, I guess, was you did get Tomato out. You were able to buy him some time because, I mean, if anything, that's what Saberlight was buying bottom. He was just trying to stay alive as long as possible, but they weren't able to make the rotation we see teams make pretty much every game now, where as soon as the enemy team puts aggression onto your safe laner's tower, you put aggression onto their safe laner's tower. You trade the T1s and everybody farms and goes to the triangle. But Rises has held on to his tower and he's just farming up. He's having a really good time now. He's kind of gotten the space spot for him now because Saberlight's been making plays on the map. So Saberlight's game is slowing down while his is just going to continue to speed up. only 600 away from his Maelstrom.
I do.
And then you're
going
going to see him rotate on the supports.
Yeah, then Undying, actually, they smoked up here. They want to go for this kill on Tano, and Tano will indefinitely go down here. Not really much they could really trade off there. Alone is going to at least put some pressure out on the way out, and now you do see that Car's going to rotate in. They want to go for Dubu, but slowed up from that Fire Spirit. Not going to be able to find this trade. So they get a very nice kill. They expended quite a bit to get it, but it's still a good trade of kills overall.
And I think this is just going to continue to happen. Right now, Undying really aren't interested in fighting unless Brow's got a rune or they can get him making some crazy play on this mid tower because, I mean, they need their defusal, they need their blink dagger, they've got their items queued up. They're not too far away from them either, but once they get them, they're going to be so much stronger.
Saber.
He's so fast.
Like, he wants to just dive this man. Like, they know it's just Enchantress, but they're gonna eventually see this rotation with Dubu scouting out Dismar from the low ground here. Is Courier about to get clipped as well on the way back home?
The arrow.
Lose the Courier, the arrow goes through, and it'll stun him one way or another. The TP cancels, and Dubu is going down.
Yeah, and you're not too upset about that one. You get Brow able to hit the mid tower a little bit, but they're holding on to these T1s. Oh, mid?
Oh, mid, yep. You do see that Alone is getting dived upon here. Bryle just trying to click into Alone as much as possible, but it was like you were talking about earlier. Alone knows his hero. The man is just shifting left and right. But they do find Dismar. They hit him with the urn, and they will find this kill. They do stun up Bryle for the time being, but I don't think you're going to be able to do much with that Centaur and just the Enchantress alone.
And it's really funny to me to just watch Alone just running around in circles, shifting up and down. Like, he's already sitting at like 2,000 HP, but he's just not a care in the world. Well, let's see. They are kind of fighting for the runes, but...
Saber. I saw him low HP again. Like, this is just a big low HP game.
Oh,
back
Tano?
at the top. Yeah, Tano is going to try to put some pressure on the Moon Meander here.
He's got egg.
He's got enough burn damage. I think Tano's just going down here. No, he got the wand.
He's going to die.
Oh, he's going in. He wants the egg kill, but it's not even going to
it.
find it. He's out of there and rises. He'll set up for the reset, I believe. But, I mean, with Tomato here as well. But back in the mid, they find the trade on Bryle. They buy all this time, and they just get nothing with this one. They'll lose a tower as well. You might be able to trade tower for tower here, but you don't really want to lose this mid tower. This opens up a lot of the map for them, especially with the bot tower already being down. And, well, tower goes down. They TP to the top.
Oh, they're sticking around. They're Moonlight Shadowed.
Oh, I thought they canceled, actually. Dubu, right on top of him. There's a sentry that scouts him out. He zips in, though. He's trying to do some damage, but Alone is going to be burning off a lot of HP here. There's going to be another toss going out there. He turns into the bird himself. The arrow goes out, finding the kill on Dubu. And he will be able to disengage for the time being. No longer with that Maledict damage ticking away on him, but at the same time, they're not done yet. Saberlight, he actually manages to find Rises up here. Rises just straight dead. Hit him with that Remnant and the follow-up damage from the PL. They will get it. He's actually got the defusal up and ready, too. So that's the big, chunky damage coming out there that maybe they didn't really account for.
Well, and he got greedy. He actually didn't have enough mana for his ultimate when he died. He just let it get a little bit too low, and it was just way too much control. And that's the scary thing about this this Void Spirit hero, because now 1,000 gold away from his Ags, and once he gets that, then you don't have the Manta Styles, you don't have the BKBs. Like, there's no great situation for Weaver to deal with that.
It's just getting burned up here, but they do have to disengage. They do see a little bit of those TP rotations. But, I mean, they want to trade tower for tower. It was like I was saying earlier, the mid tower gives them so much map domination, and they need this mid tower. It's 16 minutes in, and they want to be able to get this domination down, and they've got the items to do so. And they want to contest more. Blink Axe showing off the Blink Dagger. They will be able to find this kill on Dismar. He leaps away for the first. The pulse is going to be there. Dismar trying to get out of there as soon as possible. And he will actually do so. Run him down. While Tomato is going to get burnt down here by Tano on the sidelines. But in comes Dubu, throwing out the good old coconut combo with the Death Ward. But Axe blinking in yet again. This is what I was talking about. There's no save for these heroes as Rises gets caught with this Blink Dagger. They're looking for the kill on Alone. They have 5 seconds until Blink, but they're going to let it float for the time being. They got what they wanted, and they might be able to get more as they are TPing bottom where this very low HP Leshrac is. Are they going to find him the Remnant? Oh, just barely close. Oh, that was literal inches away from absolute death.
And it was very, very, very hopeful for them to try and defend that tower. They've got to make a little bit of a showing, but it's so scary now because you're fighting into Egg, you're fighting into this Agg's Void Spirit now, and even for that fight, it was just Blink Dagger Defusal,
God,
and they're not done.
There's so much money that's money. There's so
Moon.
much investments coming in from this Blink Dagger alone. They find this kill on Kara. They want to go for more, but they might actually have to disengage here. Tomato's trying to find a way to zip out of this bad boy, but I mean, Rises, holy moly, actually loses half his HP just to PL Illusion's baseline alone, but Tomato is going to doppel to the low ground. He might be able to get out of this one. Alone is trying to find the chase. He actually throws a spear, but they managed to find a arrow kill out on the Moon Meander there. And they ping out a ward.
They're still chasing.
There's no ward there. They want Tomato. They want him bad, but there's another doppelganger available. He's pumping it out. He's actually going to be the one in the back. But they can't chase him underneath the tier 2, which is under the backdoor protection alone. Needs to get out of there. He's actually on top of heroes here. The Maledict well with the Death Ward coming in. Alone, I don't think you could shift your HP enough to get out of this one. Saberlight will be going down. Arrow goes through, though. Alone might be actually getting out of this one. No, that burn damage is just enough. Maledict will find the kill.
They got him.
They do want to keep going for more, though. Looks like they want to... No, they need to leave. Tomato, though half HP, he still wants to put some pressure down, but... They find these trades. I mean, Morphling, getting the Morphling kill is pretty huge for them, but it's still, you don't want to be making trades, especially when, again, Moonmeander gets impaled by an arrow.
Well, and that's kind of the problem with Egoboys draft is you see just chasing the peel. They take so much damage walking into the illusions, fighting. He leads them all the way to the triangle.
Trial.
Oh, no.
Showing off as Aghanim Scepter jumps in for the first pulse, but not able to get the remnant jump there. Dismar will jump to the high ground, but I don't think Bryle is concerned about this one. He wants to go all in. Meanwhile, Axe is engaging upon Kara down here on his own, but now we're going to see Bryle in a bit of trouble here as Tano able to pump out the magic damage. He will throw out the remnant, slowing down this aggression, and now setting up the fight for the rest of them, dying to come in as Tano will get diffused up. There's no escaping this man. This PL, this cat is chasing you down. And just like that, they will be able to find 2 kills, 3 kills for the price of none. I say that, though, Dismar is buying a lot of pressure and time here, but unable to finish that off. Here's the other scenario, though, is that there's no creeps, and Weaver is actually clicking the bot to tier 2 tower. So
yeah,
won't
I
be
think
able to put tier 2 pressure down.
Tower, but I don't know. Tamano's playing this so well. He's showing up to all these fights. He's being so active on this PL. It's really refreshing to see because I think he's really been the instigator. He's still incredibly farmed, but every single fight he doesn't show up to, I really think that Undying have been struggling at, and he's just been making it work for his team.
I think they're lining up. I think they were lining up to get a kill on this Weaver. I don't think they are smoked, actually, so they didn't see it. The smoke wasn't revealed. Actually, it might have been. There is a ward there.
Yeah, I think they might be aware of it.
They moonlight, but there's only a sentry on this hill. They do throw out a scan, so they know that somebody's on top of the ward. They reveal Tano immediately. This is a huge solo pick if they get it, and they will get it. Arrow does go through, though. Axe is within good killable HP, but they're going to let him go for the time being. In fact, Saberlight could jump in for the kill on the Weaver, but they are going to disengage while Axe will just blink into the lane.
Well, and I mean, now you really have to wait if you're Egoboys. You need to wait for a few more items. You need the Earthblade. You need the BKB on Weaver, but Undying, you're just going to run at you.
No, alone. He's got no HP and mana to work with. He's just getting swapped around with his HP and agility pool, but there's nothing he could do. He's just like, all right, I'm just going to keep on shifting around. I know my hero well, but once you get silenced by Bryle, all that changes.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he doesn't have a wand or anything to kind of get him out of those sticky situations, but I don't know. They're really exerting so much pressure on the map, and there's not really anything Egoboys can do. Like I said, with their kind of low lockdown lineup, they were kind of all in on able to kind of supply the damage and run at them in a lot of these fights. And Undying are just playing around their lineup really, really well.
I mean, it's the last pick Axe just feels so strong. Like, they banned out the Tidehunter. I think the Tidehunter would have been their pick, like you were talking about during draft, had the Tidehunter been available. But this Axe is actually, like, just as perfect, if not better. Oh, one courier gets clipped by Rises in the back lines, but Undying. It looks like they might be lining up for, I mean, just to take over the Radiant, or the Dire jungle here. Tano is around, but with the Axe in the top lane, they are a little bit safe.
Well, and that's the problem is when do you really get to kill this PL? He really needs to mess up for them to.
Well,
Oh, the
speaking of
low
messing
supports.
up, immediately just finding this kill on Dismar, and Kara
Oh,
going down
no.
yet again,
They've got the egg as
unfazed by the
well.
move slow, and they're gonna go for the kill on alone. The egg
can't
goes
kill
through,
it.
and there's nothing they could do. They're not clicking the egg. They go for the kill on
Oh.
Dubu, but that's fantastic. Guess what? No, they do actually get the egg, so that's a huge team fight turner. But Saberlight jumps in, unable to find the call out onto alone. They have to lead from this one. Phoenix Egg unable to find them that confirmed. They were putting a lot of money onto that one, and when I was looking at it, that sucker had a lot of HP left, and then suddenly it was just gone.
Yeah, it was honestly a really good play from Malone because he became the PL. He got the Phantom Rush. He got that 30 Agi, and he just barely had enough attack speed to get it. So as the buyback coming out from Enchantress, just trying to cut as many losses as possible. And the good news is, PL still needs time. He's still he's exerting a lot of pressure on the map, but for him to really start rolling buildings, to start rolling Roche, you need a lot of time. He's not that Troll Warlord Ursa where the game state, just accelerates at such a faster pace.
Mid.
Another
Okay,
one.
Well, I mean, you can't underestimate Resonant Pulse Silence as well as the Ramnet combo. It's
And he
it's
has
just as soon as you
BKB,
have it,
but-
it's game for. And Bryle just having fun. He's playing Dota, normal Dota.
Oh,
Oh, they
Oh,
do
no.
get a Yules, but the Maledict is there. They don't even need the Death Ward because it's not even up. Dismar will go down
The
one way
Wisp,
or another
though.
as the burn damage
Oh,
is
no.
there. They want to get the confirm, but Tano comes in. No pipe or anything up just quite yet, I believe. But Tano
Here's
just
Samato.
burning away again. They find this kill. This poor horseman. He's just not getting any break. And Kara's unable to. They might be able to get Gar here. No, they're going to let that. They have to let it go. They don't want to keep tower diving. They don't want to lose. But, I mean, it's
And I
such a
don't
hard
know.
game for them to lose. You're sitting at a 7K net worth advantage at 23 minutes. And like
I don't
5
know
minutes
how
ago, it was
Bryle
even
keeps
still.
doing it. Yeah, I don't know how they keep doing it. They keep on baiting Egoboys because Egoboys, they want to find a good fight. They kind of need to find a good point at this point to swap or to swing the game in their favor. But they keep on baiting Egoboys to just play into them. And once Egoboys are in, that's another issue. The Weaver can get out, but the supporting cast, once they're in, they're in. They're not these super mobile heroes that are able to play around. They don't have the items either. They can't blink out. And they're just getting slaughtered. There's no way to put it in this. It's just Void Spirit Ags, man. Like, it's just that strong. It's so powerful. That's why they first picked it. That's why they first phased it.
I mean, you're looking at this now and you're like, okay, this game feels kind of lost. What do we do for game number 2? Because it feels weird. I don't want to say it feels weird first banning a Void Spirit, but it feels weird banning a Void Spirit first because there's actually a lot of other meta-based picks that you really want to ban in
yeah,
the first
there are
phase.
just so many other heroes.
Because
as
like
well.
everybody still bans Nyx and everybody still bans Puck. Every now and again you see a first ban Mars. Ooh, double smoke.
double
I just
smoke.
saw that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were looking at the same thing I was. They do drop a scan. They find nobody with it, but they do see these trees just got destroyed, so they know the Lesh
Oh,
is nearby.
Dismar.
But Bryle, I mean, I think they're fine with this transaction if they don't
They
lose
got
Tano,
two.
but they're going to lose Tano as well. I don't know why he stayed there too. They get this kill on both Dismar and Tano. He'll just burn away to the Maledict alone. So 2
Oh, and
kills
now-
for a double
oh.
smoke. I mean, I think they still have 1 smoke available left anyway. At
And
least in the shop
Sanjayasha
somewhere.
Heart on the table for PL. Really, I mean, they're doing the game plan they need to, though. If they have any chance of winning this game, they need to split the waves. They need to get as much farm as possible. And they're going to die in the process, but
Oh,
it just means Weaver gets some more farm.
well, Car does get picked off in the secret shop.
And they're hitting your tier 3 while this is all going down.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, this is a lot of action here, and Rises is really the only one that has any sort of immediate sort of prevention method because he does have the BKB. But I mean, you could see Undying; they are unfazed by this. They are just sitting outside. They want it. They deny the tower.
Oh, and that's the problem. They've got all of their bases covered because even if he gets the BKB off, Saberlight is always that kill threat. If he gets the Blade Mill off, he's just always needs to be afraid of showing in these fights. And because of the Leshrac pick, they don't have that kind of frontliner. Maybe if he had, 5,000 more net worth, he'd feel a little bit stronger, but we're not there yet. He hasn't felt like that Tricore, and I think they're just going to continue to kind of lose these buildings because they're struggling to defend their triangle right now, and they're going to keep on getting invaded or forced back to defend their racks at this point.
Dismar.
It's
Look
just
out,
Bryle
bud.
looking for picks.
He wants to like scout if they're gonna do another smoke rotation because they probably didn't account for that double smoke. Saberlight, blade
Saberlight?
mail calling, actually. He wanted to see if the Morphling was nearby, but he turns into Axe
no.
himself, and the Morphling, he's going to be in trouble here. He can't shift quite yet. He turns back into the Morphling.
Nice
though,
call.
They find this immediate return on Bryle. The damage is there, but they find the return kill on Alone. Meanwhile, outside the pit itself, they will find this kill on Tano, trading off Dubu for it, and Dismar. He has to escape, but the invis just wore off. He has 2 leap charges available.
Dismar.
The leap went in the wrong direction. They find 1 burn damage. They throw it to Yules, but 1 PL illusion alone might be able to help him confirm this. I say this, though. The Battle Hunger is ticking away. Both of this is going to be very equivalent damage as the chop comes in from Saberlight. They find the clap, and they're looking for this Weaver. The blink is available in 7 seconds. They fortify the creeps to make sure the Weaver cannot do adequate damage to this tower, to these creeps, so they can get the push. They want to force buybacks, but 30 seconds for a buyback. I mean, I think you're just going to hold it.
Well, and it's so difficult because now, I mean, Leshrac versus PL, it's a damage war, right? You're always constantly trying to fight up against the Leshrac's damage or burn his mana, but the net worth is just deafening. He's got 1,000 up on you, and I mean, they have no fear hitting this building. They're just gonna hit your racks, force you back, farm more. They did cut the mid wave though, so Rise is making some good plays.
Well, they had 3 very low HP. Oh, Moon Meander's just dead. He has to egg if he wants to live on this one. The arrow goes through, actually rises. He's just getting burned up here from Dubu. They find the kill. DD, no matter what, doesn't change nothing. He had the reset available, but he didn't get the animation off.
I don't think he realized what just... I think... Was that his last tick of BKB? Because he got hit by a Maledict tick there that I guess he just didn't see coming, but...
Well, let's see.
That's disaster because now he's just walking down mid. Your mid Rex is already half HP.
I mean, he took 1,500 damage. He was getting right-clicked from the Death Ward.
He just didn't see it coming, I guess.
2.4 or 2.4k damage on Witch Doctor, like alone. There was a lot that came from Phoenix as well, which actually none of it goes through BKB. Only the egg detonate does. And they didn't detonate the egg, but I mean, yeah, they get this easy pick with that. I don't think he realized that his BKB was almost dead on that timer. I mean, this is a fresh BK. It was a 9 second, so he might have thought it might have been a 10.
I don't know. It was just such a strange play because he stole the DD. If anything, he could have just killed and turned on Dubu instead as soon as Moon Meander was a little bit tankier than he thought. But now PL's got the items. Like I was just talking about, and it did take a little bit longer than some of these like ultra cores we have been seeing. It is 30 minutes into the game now, but now Tomato, he just feels so strong. I actually don't know how they take a really good fight versus him. They need to play around they need to ignore the PL if they really want to get anything going.
Oh, they Remnant. They saw that Kara was trying to get the outpost back, but he will end up dying for his sins here. The earn damage alone might confirm it. No, it actually eats the Remnant, and they're going to live out of this one. I think they want to take the outpost back, though, is the other problem. And Bryle, he's just pumping into it. If the bot tower does go down, PL was trying to click on the Roshan for a little bit, but back in the bot. Tano, they find this kill with the call. VKB from Saberlight to confirm the kill. Meanwhile, the shotgun comes in from Alone. The fresh reveal out onto Dubu. And Saberlight needs to escape. He pops his BKB. He needs to leave. They find this kill on Enchantress in the top lane, but now they have to rotate the rest of the heroes to the bot. Well, no, there's no tower, actually. Why rotate? There's nothing there.
And I mean, they're just gonna go back to Roche, but their attention did get kind of pulled away, and it's really slow. Like they are not good at killing Roche, especially with the items Tomato has.
The Yule Saberlight, perfect call from Saberlight. They will find this kill on the rises. The blade mail actually does so much damage here, but timing the shotgun just in time. Alone will find the trade.
And Alone becoming this axe has been honestly so sick to watch because he keeps on finding the really good calls on Bryle, on Saberlight, and it's leading to their death, but it's just Roche for Tomato. I don't think you're too mad about that death on Saberlight. Losing Rises is quite big though.
Slow Roche though. Like I don't want to say he's been in here for a long time because I know, like you were talking about earlier, their attention got wavered for a little bit. But like it's still really slow Roche. Like PL, yeah, he's got 1.5 million illusions, and somehow he got hit with the actual arrow.
Yeah.
Well,
once he gets this basher, he will be able to kind of hold down and stick on a lot of these heroes a little bit better because he's the defensive build. He's the PL that can't die at this point, but he's the PL that doesn't do as much damage as you'd probably hope. Something you probably would have liked to see an Alchemist. An Alchemist at this point, game probably would have been over 5 minutes ago with the same net worth.
You just really want an Alchemist, don't you?
I know it's coming. That's why we're gonna see it.
I mean,
We're gonna
I
see
know
it
that
banned.
NA likes to draft Alchemist. I looked at the NA Pro Tracker website and like Dota buff, and I've seen Alchemists being thrown out there. Unfortunately, again, half of the Alchemists that I had watched all the way through had been Arkosh games.
Oh,
But
boy.
at the same, you know, Arkosh isn't even that bad. All right, they're just there.
They're there.
Bryle,
They're doing their thing.
I think he was trying to
But-
aggressive remnant
Top tower is under attack.
Dismar. I was gonna call him Brismar. He was
Well,
trying to
they've got
aggressive
Glyph in
remnant
4,
there.
but they're kind of out of time. They can't cut the waves anymore. They're kind of running out of cute
Axe,
plays.
he
Wait,
finds the
Saberlight.
call. The shotgun goes out, but Saberlight
No.
throws the BKB just in time and rises. Will fall, but alone jumps in. He's actually going to get diffused here.
He's
There's
losing
no
his
reveal
mana.
for them. I say that, though. He is dusted for another 3 seconds, and out goes
Oh,
the
no.
Death Ward. They will find the kill
Tano.
on Moon Meander. They didn't pop the egg. Tomato's just burning into Tano, and they want to find this kill on Dismar alone. He still has another tick of Maledict, but he's going to be fine, only losing 300 HP to the last tick. They find this kill on Dismar. Gem hits the ground. They
Oh,
are going to be
Bryle?
able to find the stun on Bryle. The shotgun goes out here. The buyback from Tano as well to hold them over for the stun. Bryle does manage to get picked down, but they're not done yet. Undying want to keep going. They
Saberlight.
find the call again. These beautiful calls from Saberlight. Alone has the shotgun himself here just with the ethereal form to make
Oh,
sure he
Tano.
lives at the end of the day. But Tano, he's going to go on a dieback. He can't fight Tomato. The man's got so much HP. He's got so much damage. He can't do anything. Tomato now jumping to the
Alone.
low ground. He's got enough PL illusions to throw Dubu into the safe lane, but looks like there is no safety for this man as Alone will find
got
the
him.
return out onto Dubu, but Kara will be the trade as Tomato slowly clicking him down bit by bit. It is a 4
there's
for
nothing you
4.
can do. And I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. Brow went a little bit crazy. It's unfortunate. He was actually tanking all of the fountain shots, but they're ignoring the PL as much as they humanly can, you know? And the push is slow. He only does 175 damage. Okay, he got
Ooh.
arrow too.
I mean, that does like no damage to him.
The
He's
problem is he's
unfazed by
not
the
going
stun.
anywhere.
He's got
Yeah,
the
he's got
status
103.
resistance. Like, he's not phased.
He's just gonna continue to. He's just here. It's like an inevitable fact. He's just kind of doing his thing.
Does try to jump in there. He will turn into
They get
PO
Moon.
to go on
Yeah,
Moon
they're turning on
Meander.
the supports.
I mean, the shotgun's there. He has to
Oh.
egg if he wants to survive, but he is just going to go ahead and jump out of that one. But I still think Alone is going to keep trying for him.
If Alone loses his mana, this is a little crazy.
Yep, there goes the egg. They're burning into it, though. Bryle comes in. The Remnant's available if they want to get this. They will throw out the Moonlight to evade for the
Wow.
time being. Yules is going to be there. There is a sentry, but the arrow goes through.
They're trying to kite him so much.
I mean, it's like you were talking about. They want to avoid PL as much as possible, but at some point in time, you can't avoid the man. It's PL.
And now that the full 5
It's not an
man's back
axe.
up,
It's not a centaur.
you gotta be scared of axe. Oh,
Tomato. I mean, I saw the arrow go out on Dubu in the back lines there, but he's just not afraid of this at all. He's just like, okay, I stand here, nothing changes.
and I don't think they're gonna dive again. I don't know. It feels like it's all up to Alone in this flank that they're gonna try to get going as soon as they try to leave, try to exit out. But and Alone's been playing fantastically well. He's actually been getting the really good morphs off and just being super annoying with the PL. If they get Bryle, I don't know.
I just realized, I looked at Dubu real quick. The man's got voodoo switcheroo.
Best spell in the game.
He's got the voodoo switcheroo, but Dubu,
He
he's
did
got
it!
a
He's alive!
switcheroo. There he goes. He gets this bad boy Dubu. Able to escape from this one. They find
the
the kill on
call.
Kara's courier, but actually they're finding good, decent damage out on the Saberlight Alone with the BKB of his own. He's going to be able to survive with this one. Saberlight is going to be the first one to get traded off, but Tomato will find the kill on Tano. They find the kill on Kara as well. Alone trying to leave. Bryle, he gets the clip of him for 1 split second. Can't quite
Ooh.
get the silence, though. They will buy back on Enchantress. They want to keep going, though. They throw out the Remnant. They can't quite get him. And Kara, he TPs to the tier 2. They know he's here. That's
Oh, no.
That could be a possible dieback,
Oh.
but no, he jukes down to the left instead of going to the right. So he will be able to get out of that one.
Oh no, Tomato cut him off.
Oh, yeah. Nope, they see him. The Remnant, they get that little clip vision, so they know that Kara is in here. They throw out a PO illusion. The Invis is going to be
Well.
thrown out, but the reveal is there following suit. The burn damage as well. The rest of Ego are rotating in here, though. They will be able to find this kill on
Got
Dubu.
Dubu.
He gets shotgunned immediately. Meanwhile, I wasn't going
No
to say the call,
BKB.
but Tomato, he wants to get the clicks out on him. He's got full mana. The gem is on this man, Moon Meander. He has to egg defensive. And this egg might be a full detonation
no, they
because this
can't get
guy's
it
got
off.
enough levels. This egg's gonna detonate alone. BKB does nothing, you fool! You're going to die! He blinks away just in time though with the dispersion from the loan, but
Out of mana.
it's not gonna do anything. No mana, no HP to work with. A buyback coming
no,
out from
Dismar.
this Mirana. They want to go for Dismar because he bought back. The bash is gonna be there, Dismar. You ain't escaping this, boy. As Tamano will find yet another kill. And they aren't done yet. They will find Moon Meander on the backlines with Rises, but they see that Bryle wants to try to get this kill out onto Rises. There's a sentry somewhere. They do know he's here. Bryle, no jump available. He does have the Hex, but Saberlight pulling out all the hammers, getting the call. They will find this kill. The Abyssal Blink out from Tomato. They find the kill out onto Tano.
And that's it.
And that's a multiple 5-man team wipe.
There we go.
For the Egoboys, and Undying will take the game number 1 of this best of 2 series.
Yeah. Kind of sucks when it's not a best of 3, but I mean, it was just a complete dominant performance from Tomato. He was doing, I think, pretty much everything for his team for a while. They really played around their lineup fantastically. And I felt like Egoboys really expected themselves to do better in the mid game. They kind of got rolled, to be honest. As soon as they started losing ground to the PL, as soon as he started getting those item timings, I don't know, the start for me goes back to when they lost their mid tower. They took that pretty bad fight where they lost 2 or 3 heroes, and the course just had to split off, where Tomato just was able to continue to farm, continue to burn mana. I wish I could see a graph to see how much mana he burned, because if Alone doesn't have mana, if Leshrac and Morph don't have mana, if Rises doesn't have mana, they can't fight. And Tomato was always on it. He was always able to give them a really bad time.
I mean, there really should be like a modifier based like damage. No, actually, can't you see the damage you did with a certain thing, or is that not for us that we could see? That is what. Okay, no, Diffusal's not that kind of. Darn.
Yeah.
Diffusal's not that kind of damage. Unfortunate. It's added damage.
The thing
Well,
is,
with
though,
that-
I do think Egoboys can beat them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not out of the whole ballpark. Like, I think it's just, I don't want to be like ban Void Spirit, but you could see how confident Bryle is with this hero. The question is, what do you ban in place? Like, what's the one ban you lose? Like, if you let that slip, Bryle's probably going to pick the Puck, if Puck is in there. You let that slip, Dubu or Moon Meander might pick Nyx. So
yeah, and that's the thing that I guess Undying have really made sure not to let them have. No team honestly lets Egoboys have Nyx. I'm guessing that's probably going to be consistent in the bans, and I hope Egoboys can kind of refine the draft and get a little bit of a better game plan, because I mean, they've taken games off Beast Coast, they've taken games off of SG Esports and Thunder Predator. They really have it in them, so I'm really excited for game 2.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 will be right around the corner, so don't go too far. It's should be in like maybe 8-9 minutes. So we'll see you for game number 2.